Hi everyone. So this is just a quick video to give you an update on what's going on in the news. Refugees welcome. We have to do a better job welcoming and integrating refugees. So how is that going? What's in the news today? Let's see. Several New York City public gyms to house incoming asylums. At least 3 schools are being opened up to bring in the migrants. This is just last couple of days. So they're bringing these people over the border. They're not being vetted for diseases like tuberculosis and etc. All kinds of diseases and worms and who knows what else. Also, they're not being vetted for if they're terrorists, if they're rapists, if they're murderers. They're just busing these people in there. But there's thousands of them that is busing them in. You can see Michael Yon on Twitter, and he's following it. He's down there and documenting it and reporting about it. But what's really shocking is stories like this where they're just taking over the hotels now. Like in New York, I'm hearing about it a lot. Couples' wedding plans were upended after hotel room block was canceled to accommodate asylum seekers or refugees. So they had a wedding that was about to happen, and at the last minute, the government moved in and said, no, refugees are moving into this hotel. And they kicked out the wedding party and said, no, you're going to find somewhere else to go. So New York City is struggling to find shelter for thousands of refugees arriving in New York. The city on Thursday sent buses of refugees to a hotel. So they're putting them up in hotels, in schools. Says refugees to be housed in 6 more New York City school gyms. And yeah, so right, this is an invasion. I mean, let's face it. And this is, they're still going strong here, and they're still pushing the agenda, and they're forcing these massive numbers of refugees, and they're bringing, like I said, they're not vetted for diseases or for violent histories or anything. We have no idea. They're bringing mass numbers of them in. And what's happening is in Ireland, of all places, it's a little tiny island. They've done the same thing there. They've been doing that. And finally, people have been getting fed up because the crime rate goes up. I mean, these refugees are walking around with like I said, some of them are in gangs. They're going around threatening people, robbing them, raping them. It's all over Europe, as you know. And so finally, people are getting fed up. They don't want it in their neighborhoods, right? So they have been kicking them out of their neighborhoods. And unfortunately, if you don't stop it before they move in, you have no choice but to push them out, and then that's gonna start getting they're starting fires, for example, and when they report on it in the mainstream media, of course, which is controlled, they claim it's far right anti-immigration activists. It's like, no, it's people who don't want rapists and murderers and tuberculosis and scabies and who knows what else these people have in their neighborhoods. So you know, they had to take things into their own hands because the government isn't stopping it, right? And they ended up getting rid of these refugees because they're basically moving these refugees in. They don't have a place to stay, so they're making shanty towns in Ireland. They're just moving them in and making a third world country overnight. And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing here. In New York, and I'm sure they're doing it in other places. So look out. That's all I gotta say. You know, they're coming for your neighborhood. They're doing it right now. The agenda is, you know, it's still going on strong here. Homeless vets being forced out of New York hotels to make room for the refugees. Um, I mean, they're moving them in everywhere, and they're forcing them into schools, um, everywhere. All the hotels, hotel until you can't get a hotel anywhere. And you know, who wants to stay in a hotel after the hotel gets invaded? They don't leave. They did that in New York with the hotel there. They can't get them out now. They tried to move them to a shelter somewhere else, and the refugees refused to move because they had it nice and cushy in a hotel. They're like, "We're not going anywhere." So once you get them in the hotel or something nice accommodations or a school, you're not going to get them out. I mean, unless you do what Ireland did and force them out. But that, I think but unfortunately, that's where things get dangerous, and you don't want that. So I know, heads up. That's all I gotta say. Look out, what's going on in your neighborhood? It's coming to a neighborhood near you. Thanks to you know who. That's all I wanted to say. Raising the alarm there. you know, keep a lookout and get organized because it's on you to protect your family. So- all right. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.